Hi everybody, Dan here with No Games for Old Men, and welcome back to Sands of Aura. Before we go to the ruined settlement to speak with Aura, before we head to the Pillar of Entropy, I am back here in ISHULAR for two reasons. Very briefly. One is to find the last, or to show you, I accidentally found it, but is to show you where to find the the fourth Atnael's armor piece. You saw me find all three, or the first three, but I did not find the fourth one. So here, in this courtyard here where you fight the Giant of ISHULAR for the second time, come to this balcony that's overlooking the statue of Orsana and the pearlescent courtyard bell and the pearlescent courtyard itself over there, and jump onto this roof. If you come down here, nestled right here is where the next armor piece, the fourth at least, it was for me, armor piece is. Also, there's a glintstone orb worth 5,000 glint right here on this pedestal area here. So that was it. That's all I wanted to show you there. The next item is going to be up in the... actually, no, we're staying down here. I was going to go all the way up to the graveyard for absolutely no reason. We're going into the depths. And the reason for that is because, I think it was last episode, I found 3 of the 4 MOTT'S armor pieces and couldn't find the 4th. But now I have found it. Very important, or at least very helpful for you to have the Feather Dustfall Talisman, because that protects you from taking damage from falls unless the fall would kill you. And you will see why that's important very shortly. So if you go this way, you'll find one. If you go this way, you'll find one. We're going this way. And I originally came over here, but didn't want to jump down there, and I said, because there's not going to be any way for me to get back up. So I turned around and walked away. Well, jump down here, because this is the path you have to take. So we're going to, as carefully as we can, although if you don't have the Dustfall Talisman, you're going to want to be careful here, and maybe have a mimosa so that you can be healing after each fall, because each of these falls, boom, that will do a tremendous amount of damage to you if you don't have the Dustfall Talisman. So will this one. And we are going to just hop over all of the roofs and get to... going to get to this spot here. And this is quite a trek that we're going to take to get where this thing is. I'm going to go up this ladder. My first thought was to jump off of that, where that balcony is, but there's nothing at the bottom. So don't do that. And here's another fall that will do a lot of damage to you. Ow. But I've got the Dustfall Talisman. So yeah, if you took Spy Sideways' hint to fight Atnael with the Dustfall Talisman equipped, then you can do all of this without a problem. Now here we have an aura interaction point. So if you're trying to get the achievement to interact with all of the aura engagement points, this is going to be an important place for you to come to. We've also got, ooh, a Sacramite ingot. Awesome. And there's another one over there, but we're going to go that way in a second, so we're going to do this first. While the way forward is completely obstructed by rubble, it appears someone managed to climb through just before the collapse. Okay, that's not an aura part. I thought it would have been. I guess it's white. Well, no, it looks blue to me. Well, maybe it's white. Anyhow, let's see what this one is. If this is an ingot too, that's going to be awesome. Oh, just 3 shards. What I'm short on is chunks, the gold ones, the gold Sacramite chunks. That's what I need to be able to upgrade my armor to the 19th level, and then I need the Saccharomite ingots to upgrade it to 20. So we're climbing this very tall ladder, and be very careful here because this board is very narrow, and it seems like the walkable part of it isn't all there. I keep getting like pushed to the right as I walk, and I'm clenching a bit because I feel like I can't make full use. All right, so clamber over the rubble here and up this side. Come on. There we go. Okay. And now we're going to cross these boards. Again. Very gently. Up the stairs, over to the side, and here is Mott's, the hat, or the helmet. Or Morion. Sure. And then, when you fall, again, this fall also will do a lot of damage to you if you're not using the Dustfall Talisman, so be at full health, or be ready to use a bell. And there we go. So we drop into the library, where we found Calder. And this is where the armor was, so the torso. All right, so that's it. We are out of here. We are going to now sail to the ruined settlement to meet with Aura before we go to the Pillar of Entropy. So I will see you there. Alrighty, here we are at the ruined settlement, and it is very different from the first time we were here. I remember you telling me that there was a Saccharomite ore that I missed. Oh, brother. Well.
This is what you get.
Oh, what?
The gilded cage.
Doubt the
but
threadbare.
It's better this way. Alone is what you're used to.
What?
But I didn't know. People change like the tides, but their fear lingers on the shore. This is how it will always be. A fact of the world. Stop it! What do they close their windows to? What's left after they blow out the candle? It doesn't matter what shape you take or how long you stand beside them. You have your part to play. The shadow. The stain.
Wow, that's rude.
No! You're lying! You're lying!
A crude image drawn in vibrant colors which depicts a figure floating near a bedridden child. While the image is faded due to age, a number of protection charms composed of ink and yellowing parchment still linger all around it. Those things aren't going to hurt me. Although the fact that you see them forming before they land tells me that they will hurt you, and that's your opportunity to get the heck out. Now, where was the campsite that the musician was playing at? Because apparently that's where the ore is. That I missed. It's not down. Maybe it's up here. Whoops. I said it was worth 10 grand, so kind of feel like I need to have that. Because I could use that to if I'm wanting to buy all the talismans that I'm missing. Huh. Alright, well, let's see if we can figure out what's going on here on this island. If there's anything. This is an awful lot going on for there not to be anything happening here, so... I definitely got that one. Laura, are you around? Also, 10,000 glint ore, are you around? Got that one over there. I'm really kind of curious to let one of these hit me and see what damage it does, if any. Or if they're just visual. Wow, they're real frequent up here.
You know, don't you, in spite of yourself, what festers inside?
No, I thought it would be different. I thought it would work.
You knew, yet you carried it like a dagger. Maveth cannot be saved. He cannot be purified. Nor can you. It is written. Yet the sands are pocked with your attempts to undo this, with your knowledge.
Please, please stop.
But how good it feels to hold the whip, the torch. The flames are bright and warm. They drive the darkness away. Their punishment drives the darkness away.
No, no.
For them it burned for nothing. For them they fell for nothing. But you found pleasure in the flames, in their suffering. For creating you, condemning you. At least Maveth is honest in his hatred. You know, don't you, in spite of yourself, to be destructive, to be cruel, to be antithetical to this world. Tell us what you are.
Wow, her sisters are real toxic.
That's not true. I was trying to help. I'm still trying. It's not my fault. I'm not him. It's not my fault.
Uh-oh.
Enter and find her if you can. Or leave her and let her sleep in the bed she made. After all she's done, after what's been lost, will you grant pardon or cut the thread? Regardless, there is always a cost.
I'm going to find her.
Is this your will?
It is.
So be it. Make your attempt at risk to yourself, but know that fate has taken interest.
Uh-oh. See a candle's light. Okay, I notice I've taken damage, so I must have gotten hit by one of those things. So it didn't kill me. Wow, kill me outright, but So, moving very slowly through here. Oh, gosh. Oh, my gosh. Yeah, this, I'm gonna have to... Oh, I can't even dive roll?
She wants to fade between the waves, to descend into peace, into comfort. You're selfish to deny her that. You're selfish to try and save her.
Ha! I can jump, but I can't do a dive roll. So this is gonna be dangerous.
A shame, but there is always a cost. You are always destined to.
Dead. Oh, good.
I appreciate what you're trying to do, but you should go home, if there's even a star spire to return to.
Why is my hair different? My character's supposed to have white hair. Alright, we lost a lot of people, Aura. We lost Lawrence.
I never wanted anyone to get hurt, regardless of what those things said. I promise you. But it doesn't matter anymore anyway. None of it does. At least with Maveth, there's connection. There's unity with everyone.
But you'll lose who you are. We all will.
What does it matter? What is there for me to lose? Corruption, ruin, destruction. These are what I am, Knight. I'm done denying it. It was fun to pretend, but...
As she goes silent, the sounds of the sand sea breaking against the cliff face surround you both.
Maybe Maveth's right. Maybe there is peace in it.
Aura, your corruption is reducing. Mentes believes our connection is proof.
How could he even know? How can you say that after all that's happened here?
Her gaze carries over the field, first to a pile of rubble, then to a swath of small but healthy flowers, which grow stubbornly between the shattered stones.
Don't. Please just leave it. Leave me alone. It doesn't matter. Go back to Starspire and enjoy the time you have left.
I thought you'd be happy to know.
Look around you, Knight. Does this look like perfection to you? I'm not his legacy. I'm not a Drojoy. I don't know what I am. I keep searching for something to hold on to, but every time I think I've found it, it slips between my fingers.
Lawrence asked me to thank you for healing him. Those were his words at the end.
Me? Why? Why are you telling me this now? Starspire would be fine if I hadn't been involved in the first place. Lawrence would be alive. How many people are gone because of me? How many more are hurt?
Your actions define you, Aura. That's who you are. You can decide to be better.
I don't know. I don't know if I believe you. But I owe you this, at least. It concerns Starspire.
Turning away from you, she peers back out to the sand sea.
Now go, please. I need to think.
Is that a portal? Yeah. Alright, well... Ooh, uh-oh. We seem to have been locked out of a lot of the traversable area here. Oh, no? Yeah, that's interesting. Well, doggone it. I want to find this last... Oh, I can't. Yeah, I can't go anywhere else. Bummer. Alright, well, I guess we'll just have to live without that one ore node. And we'll head back to Starspire. Oh.
Aura, you did not deceive me. The presence of a remnant is like a stream among the sands. You may call me seldom.
What?
But I assume we've already met.
But you've been helping me in Starspire.
A puppet has aided you.
Mm.
A tool which Tupi wields upon the unsuspecting. This pylon is all that remains of my mind. It is an example of what Tupi is capable of should you disobey him. Long have I waited for his influence to decline enough so that I may reach out. I fear he has already made for the Pillar of Entropy.
Yes, he has. I helped him open it.
Then the hour is late indeed. Tupi likely told you how your order worked with him to seal away the corruption. That is only a fragment of the tale. Sealing the corruption within the pillar was not chosen out of failure. It was out of necessity. Tupi does not deceive you fully. To purge this world of its corruption, the only avenue is through the Forsaken Gods. But Farum, Hashara, humanity alike, all must be purged from the world in order to restore it.
What?
So entwined has the corruption and existence become.
Wow.
One cannot be excised without the other.
So restoring the world means destroying what's already here.
This was a truth we learned too late. In secret from the sage, I created the bounds which sealed the corruption within the pillar. And it was the remnants at my side who gave of their essence to strengthen them and to scatter the sigils across the sands.
Then how do we stop it?
You are a remnant knight, and the terms of our union still reside as such. I believe that should you give of yourself, of your essence, the binds around the corruption may be restored, and the sigils may again be scattered. It would come at a great cost to you, but I imagine you already know that.
I understand.
But you may also lean on your allies, Knight.
An illumination builds on a nearby fragment.
That is a withering fragment of the Pillar of Entropy. In response to Aura's presence here, what was once flaking ash became like hardened steel, but as soon as she departed, its form reverted. Trust in her, Knight. I do not know how, but I believe she will be invaluable to the future of Talimel.
Can I ask you some questions?
What would you like to know?
Why did Tupi need my help with the sigils?
The sigils were augmented by the remnants and myself. Only through such a unity could they again be activated. Tupi understood this and acted accordingly.
Why were you separated from your body?
Tupi managed to pluck me from the pillar at the last moment. My mind was cast into the pylon before you when he learned the rune carver would still be necessary to reactivate the sigils. My shell was used against me, forging the many runic pylons which now scatter his grotto. They are the many links of my chains here.
Perhaps I can free you?
While I appreciate your concern, Knight, my flesh is no longer mine to claim. We have been separated too long.
So what is this place?
A realm of confinement, deep beneath Tupi's grotto.
Oh. Aura's reaction to the pillar fragment.
I cannot be sure of it, but I believe she can communicate with the Sea of Magic, the very life force of Talimel itself. But many believe it gone. The first victim of the Night Plague.
Thank you for your help, Seldom. And we're back. And she's gone. Huh. Oh, there she is. She rubs her hands together, looking at the ground a moment.
If Lawrence chose to remember me like you said, and if you could come back for me despite everything I've done, then goodness can be focused on. It can be valued. I owe it to you both, and to Starspire, to make up for my mistakes. But I owe Maveth as well. If Mentes spoke to you of Drojoy, then he must also have spoken to you of Maveth. He's wrong about him. Maveth's actions, no matter how vile, no matter how cruel, are born from a fear similar to my own. He is a child, locked in a room. He suffers a fate worse than any in Talimel.
But he can't be purified, Aura. You know that.
I know. I underestimated his nature. I denied my own. But Maveth doesn't have to be destroyed. Please, he can be rebound. I'll do whatever I can to help with this night, to make up for the suffering I've caused.
Can I ask you some questions?
Sure.
So about this settlement.
It was like finding a small fire in a cave. Everything before was darkness. But then suddenly there was a reprieve. Music, laughter, life. But fire is so easy to smother.
The Threadbearers.
I know they're still whispering from the depths of me. They're taunting me, pointing to the darkness inside. But I'm not what they say I am. Not completely.
About being a Drojoy.
Before I escaped, Mentes would bring me books. That's how I learned of the old world, of the vast kingdoms. How I developed a fondness for humanity, for Talimel. In one, there was an image of a Bulsarian girl, strong, proud.
She peers down at her hands.
It's been so long now. I can't even remember what I looked like before. Mentes may be right. This may just be an imitation. But at least I chose this. At least this shape means something to me. Drojoy. Alchemical life. There's no meaning in that for me. There never was.
Why do all of this for Maveth?
Why do you give so much of yourself for Starspire? For Lawrence? Out of everything in this world, Maveth is the closest connection I have, and I've done wrong by him from the beginning.
About your reaction to the pillar fragment.
I don't quite understand it, but seldom thinks it's because of the Sea of Magic. It reminds me of what I heard in the dunes, around the pylons. It was soft, pleasant, like a song.
It's good to have you back, Aura. Well, now I have access to this area over here. It must have just been trying to focus me so that I didn't wander off and go back to the ship without having that encounter with her there. Yep. Don't know. Still not seeing this. Or node anywhere. Alright, well, I'll probably keep looking around for it. But next episode, we are going to head to the Pillar of Entropy. Oops, I think I just saw a blue glow right above me. There it is. There it is. Alright, so we are going to head to the Pillar... Oh, we're falling. Come on, get up there. Yes! Alright, as I keep trying to say, we're going to head to the Pillar of Entropy next episode. I hope you join me for it. I hope you're having a really great day, enjoying whatever it is you are playing. Okay, wait. Before I go, a couple more things to do. You can see by my clothing that this is not the same day I recorded the first part of this episode, but it's something that I felt needed to be added to the end of this episode, since this one is very much seems to be a prep for the final encounter at the Pillar of Entropy. So I've got two. Let me show you. Here we go. I've got two talismans remaining that I have yet to find. These all were gray, I think probably last episode, but these are the ones that you buy from Galena's shop. So I've purchased all of those. The only two I have left here are these two. And I got a hot tip from Spy Sideways about the islands that they're located on. So in my own time, I went and tracked them down and then figured I would show them the location, to you in case you were looking for them as well. So first one here is on Malik's Menagerie Island. Not the top level, but come down from the top level where you go in and meet Creature and fight all the arena fights. Creep along this little piece of wall that's sticking out, jump, and then come around the corner, and here we are. And here's one of them, the Talisman of the Healthy. While at full health, the bearer of this talisman will deal 25% more damage. Wow, while at full health. So really, I mean, for somebody like me, that's very limited use, but the cherished charm believed to have belonged to El Aviv of the Radiant Justicars. As leader of a medical subdivision within the Order, it was the warrior apothecary who personally led bands of hospitallers through the chaos of the battlefield. So proficient was her healing hand, it was said that the presence of El Aviv alone could renew a holy siege and extend its duration by months. Cool. So that's that one. The next one, the last one for me, you gotta be real careful about hopping over here, though. Watch me die. Okay. The next one is the Flare Forge. I will see you there. All right, everybody, welcome back to the Flare Forge. I didn't think I'd have to be here again, but the last talisman for me, very easy to miss. Very easy to miss. Right here on the elevator. This is the elevator where you go up to fight the boss. This ferrum armor or corpse or whatever that's hanging from this chain directly in front of my character, the talisman is sitting on the back of it. So you have to get to the edge of the elevator, activate it, and then as you ride past, grab it. There we go. Talisman of Martial Power. Now we don't need to be here again, so we're just going to go right back down. I wish I could activate it again. Can I send it back down? Oh, I can! Oh, cool! Okay, well, anyway, while we're riding down, I'm going to read what it is. Talisman of Martial Power. The bearer does 20% more damage on normal attacks. The cherished charm believed to have belonged to Neshor of the Radiant Justicars. While many exceeded Neshor in terms of particulars, none had the range of the warrior generalist who prided himself on becoming whatever tool was needed by the Prime Radiance at a given moment. As a reward, Neshor's strength was bolstered for every year of service given to the Order. So 20% more damage on normal attacks. So that's going to be different from the one that I'm using right now, where I do 20% more damage when using the one-handed fighting style. That means any damage that I do with the sword. Or, yeah, because that's the slashing fighting style is with the sword. So that's any damage. That means critical damage as well. So this one seems less... Wait a minute. Why is this... Oh, because I didn't... Did I not... Yeah, here we go. Yoink. There we go. And there we got the Trinket Tracker achievement just popped as well. So I think the martial power, because you only do 20% more damage with normal attacks, that seems less useful than, you know, depending on the... Or is it only... Okay, I was gonna say maybe it's cheaper, and then you could use some other talismans, but no, it costs 2 as well, as do all of these. So, I'm not really sure... Unless I'm misunderstanding something about that, it seems like... I will just stick with Saber Prowess. Now where this does come into play is that if I switch weapons, if you're the kind of player who switches weapons a lot and you've got 2 different fighting styles, you'll either have to use both talismans, which will take up 4 slots, or you just sacrifice the extra 20% on your critical damage and use the martial power so you get 20% on your normal attacks for both weapon types that you're using. So I suppose that's an option there. So next we need to go to the priestess in Starspire and select the talisman that we want to use for the final encounter here. So I will see you there shortly. Alright, so here we are back on the upper terrace, and we see that the band has shifted up here. They're not in the tavern anymore, which is kind of sad because there's people in the tavern that could really use their use their cheer. But this reminds me. This seems very much like the playing on the deck of the Titanic as it sank.
Knight, I know that words do little right now in the way of alleviating the grief you must be carrying.
You don't know my grief.
But it is often during times of hardship that I return to a particular tale. Would you like to hear it?
Sure.
Early before the founding of the Church of Lysis, the prophet Atnael found himself stranded within a stretch of forest that would eventually become the city of ISHULAR. It was there, alone in the darkness, surrounded by looming trees, that he lit a fire and began to pray. Typically, the canopy was so thick that no light could escape it, but due to Atnael's conviction, the radiance of the fire broke through and led others to him. I find comfort in knowing that when lost in our darkest moments, we can still grow closer to one another through the light.
A lovely story. All right, let's see if we want to swap out some talismans. I definitely want to not be using Sinful Greed right now because I don't really care about getting 20% more glint, which opens up 2 slots that I can use for something else, like perhaps Ironhide, or I already have Lithe. No, I do not have Lithe Riposte. Let's get Lithe Riposte in there, maybe. I could also do Forceful Blows and do another 10% extra damage, or you know, we could do that too. Blade Dancer. Both of the bearer's weapon head effects are active at the same time. Weapon head effects. So let's see what our weapon heads are. Whoops. Okay, so we've got the dual axes. Each hit has a 25% chance to increase your haste by 25% for 3 seconds. Oh no, that's your fighting type. Sorry. Axe. Critical damage is increased by 25%. And the sword increases corruption generation by 15%. Okay. So both of those would be active simultaneously. Critical damage increased by 25%. Yeah. Okay, let's go with that one then.
Scripture has unlocked.
We will unselect Lithe Riposte, which is kind of foolish for me to do. I get it. But I kind of like this too. We'll just have to accept the fact that we suck at parrying. Jaggedness would also be a good one. The bearer of the object increases the rate of effects that deal damage over time. So if I'm using the axes and they've got that Hashari effect that deals damage over time, or the fire spell that I use a lot that sets... Yeah, it causes burning damage. So that all of that would be increased by 25%. So that would also be an option. So I've got pommel effects. Yeah, here's another thing. For pommels, I've got finesse on both weapons, which increases 20, 100. Well, let's see. Every 5th hit deals 175% more damage. So does that mean does that duplicate? So every 5th hit will deal 350% more damage? I don't know. I don't know. But
This book of script.
I think I'm happy with where we are right now. Let's go at last to the Pillar of Entropy. That'll be next episode. All right, thanks for sticking around for this addendum to my preparations. I hope you're having a really great day and enjoying whatever it is you are playing. I will see you next time. Take care.
No games.